let you in. It's great, you have to see it. With a motion of confidence, she excuses herself around the landlord and walks out of the back door. She says the guy just looked at her like he was confused. Once outside, she sprinted to her car and sped like hell out of there. When Amanda got home, she told her mother and my brother everything. Cops were called, and they took her statement and went to investigate. The Craigslist post had been removed. Epilogue. The house had been foreclosed over 6 months earlier, and the property had been abandoned. When the police investigated, they found that the closed room the landlord didn't want her to look in was where the man had been staying. There was a pile of old, dirty blankets, rotten food, and empty gallon jugs everywhere. More creepy was he had plastered ripped-up pages from porno mags all over the walls. The really scary part of this was the basement. The man had tied a thin piece of fishing twine at about shin level across the stairs about halfway down. The basement was empty, except for a pile of old blankets, a broom handle wrapped in leather belts, and a small box with a few rolls of assorted dirty blankets. Amanda ended up not moving in. Junior year of high school, my parents got a job offer out of state, and so I was forced to move across the country. I started a new school late into the academic year and had a hard time fitting into the new school. All I wanted was to make a friend, but was too shy to talk to anyone. It was around this time that my friends left MySpace to join Facebook, so I did the same to keep close with them. Some days later, I received a friend request from David. David was a guy that I had been friends with in my old town. Well, he wasn't exactly my friend, but rather the friend of another friend. My friend Jerry had introduced him to the group, and would bring him along every time we'd all hang out. We knew that David was a year older than us, and that he had gone to a different school, but other than that, we really didn't know anything about him. In fact, we kind of always referred to him as Jerry's friend, because he never actually bothered talking to us. So when I received a friend request from him on Facebook, I was more than confused. He had hardly spoken to me when I lived near him, so for him to want to be friends with me after all this time seemed a little strange. But I was so lonely and desperate for friends that I didn't care. Other than that, nothing really seemed off about him, at least not for a time. Looking back, I do remember that he hardly had any pictures of friends when I first accepted his request. But like I said, this was around the time that people had just started using Facebook, so it didn't seem at all weird for him to have such a barren profile. And over the years, his friends list got bigger, even more so than mine, so I didn't really think anything of it. But anyway, I digress. I accepted his friend request, and it was just like this that David and I became friends. He told me that he just started university, and that he was lonely because he was too shy to make friends. I told him that I was having a hard time in my new school for the same reasons, and we bonded over that. Little by little, we started talking more. He shared his problems with me, and I shared mine with him. And when it was time for me to apply to university, he even helped me out. He taught me how to sign up for my SATs, helped me apply for scholarships, and even paid for one of my application fees using a Visa gift card, so I didn't receive any of his personal information, and he didn't receive any of mine. Then, when I finally started university, he helped me with that as well. He told me where to buy books, gave me studying tips, provided emotional support. So when he asked my phone number, I didn't even hesitate to give it to him. David was my friend, and I wanted to keep him close, even if we were physically away from each other. It was around this time that David started sharing more of his life with me. And all of it was pretty normal stuff. He had a job at Pizza Hut, which he hated but needed to keep in order to pay the bills. He also played soccer, but not for his university or anything. It was just a group of guys that got together on the weekends to unwind. I think the biggest thing he told me was that he had flunked out of university, and that I was the only one that knew about this, because he was too embarrassed to tell anyone else. And at one point, he also had to move back in with his mum, which he hated a lot. 2, maybe 3 years into our friendship, my family decides to take a trip back to the city where we all lived prior to moving across the country. And I excitedly told him and all my other high school friends. Most of them were pretty excited about the idea of us all hanging out together again, because after high school, we had all just gone our different ways. But when I contacted David about this, he seemed to show little interest in hanging out with us. I thought this was weird. I wasn't a stranger that he'd met online, but rather someone that had been in his life for many years. I kept insisting and asking for a reason, and then he finally gave me one. He told me that his pictures had been heavily edited, and that he was afraid of disappointing me if we met in real life. I told him that it didn't matter what he looked like, and that I just wanted to meet him. But he still didn't want to hang out. Instead, he just started being a huge dick to me. He knew exactly what buttons to push, knew all of my insecurities and secrets, and had started using all of that knowledge to hurt me. So I just stopped talking to him. Some weeks later, I meet my friends as planned, and much to my surprise, I see David there, looking just like he did in his pictures. I didn't understand why he lied about photoshopping his pictures, or why he had said he didn't want to meet me only for him to show up at our friend's house. But I was so angry at him that I didn't ask any questions. I just kept waiting for an apology, but David wouldn't approach me. He was treating me like he treated me back when we were in high school. I was really upset, but given that he had been such a huge dick to me, I figured that this was just another attempt to get under my skin. We were all drinking and talking about what we were up to. And when it was his time to share, he pretty much just said the same things I already knew about him. He said that he wished that he was still in university like the rest of us, but that he flunked out and that he was just living with his mum. He said that he was miserable there and that he wanted to move out, but that his job at Pizza Hut wasn't paying him enough for him to move out on his own. At this point, though, I was already pretty pissed off, and the alcohol had given me enough courage to finally ask him why he'd been ignoring me. He apologized, but he admitted that he hardly remembered me, which hurt my feelings, but also pissed me off even more. I told him about Facebook and about our text messages, and he just kept insisting that he didn't use Facebook. Apparently, he had used MySpace at one point, but stopped using that when he'd switched over to Tumblr. A Facebook account was something that he hadn't even considered making. I asked him about the text messages, and he just said that I probably confused him with another David, because he had never had my number. I thought that denying it was a lousy excuse, but Jerry backed him, which pissed me off even more. The thing, though, was that David hadn't just been talking to me on Facebook, but also to a bunch of us. So when we kept calling him out on his shit, he just told us to text this David guy to prove that it wasn't him. He set up his phone on the table, and I texted him, but no messages appeared on his phone. Then, while we were all arguing about how we needed to give it some time, the David that I had been talking to for years responded, proving that we had been talking to a fake all along. Things turned pretty awkward at this point, with all of us feeling angry and betrayed, and David obviously feeling extremely violated. So, with all of us wanting answers, we open up our friend's laptop and search for David's profile on Facebook. The first thing that David points out is that whoever this was, they were using his mother's maiden name and not his real last name. And that while most people on his friends list were people that he knew in real life, none of them were people that he had kept in contact with. His display picture was also of a dog, which he owned years ago, but that had since died, just like the fake David had told me. All measures that, looking back, I'm guessing were used by this person to keep David's close friends from actually finding him on Facebook. The older pictures on Facebook had been taken from his MySpace, back when he had still been using that, but most of the newer ones had been taken from his Tumblr, which he apparently uploaded pretty often. The weirdest thing, though, was that there were some pictures he swore he had never seen before. These were all pictures of his soccer games, taken from the audience, which the fake David had said his brother had taken. The real David said his brother never went to these games, neither did any of his family members or friends. In his fake profile, David pointed out that while a bunch of status updates were of things that had never actually happened, a lot of them were accurate. Whoever this person was, they had been watching David for a long time. They knew his schedule, knew what movies he went to, knew what ice cream flavors he liked, knew his favorite bands, knew practically everything about him. We did confront the fake David, but he never answered the text messages and instead deleted the profile before we had the chance to examine it any further. So we never did get any answers. I don't know why that person pretended to be David for such a long time, or why they even did it in the first place. All I know is that I felt extremely violated for having shared so many private details of my life with him. And of course, I also felt a great deal of pity for the real David. I wondered for the longest time how this person found him, and how they managed to learn so many private details of his life. Then, a few months back, my mother calls me, saying that she found a profile with her name, but with my pictures on it. My middle name is my mum's first name, something that very few people know. She thought that I had made a second profile, and I didn't tell her the truth because I didn't want to scare her. The truth was, I didn't even know that profile existed. I've always kept Facebook set to private, and I no longer accept random friend requests, nor do I post pictures anywhere else. So this profile only had really old pictures of me, and nothing weird like David's soccer game pictures, but it was still active, and had been active for a while. None of my friends were people that I know, and none of the updates were of things that I'd actually been doing in real life. So I don't know if the profile belonged to the same person that stalked David, but I'm extremely average looking, so I don't know why anyone else would want to use pictures of me when there are way prettier girls online. So I'm guessing it had to be him. I don't know. I just reported the profile, and it no longer exists. But I wonder if this person is still pretending to be me, or if they've moved on to somebody else.
Whoa, that was scary.
It's funny how things process differently when you're young.
Just
It
kidding.
took a couple of years to sink in how creepy my situation was. Back in fifth grade, my buddies and I used to play with airsoft guns and have our little deathmatch battles up on the hills behind our houses. We all grew up in a safe, affluent, suburban neighborhood and would regularly explore and play. One summer evening, approaching dusk, we started our match and split into our two teams of four. My friend Tegan and I stayed together and ran up the hill a bit to a concrete water runoff. This proved to be a great spot to hide and overlook the action from above. While up at our post, Tegan made it apparent to me that a man was watching and began descending towards us from high up on the hill. At this point, we weren't alarmed, just curious. The man approached through the tall brush and jumped the fence to where we were stationed. He looked pretty normal from what I recall, albeit his clothes were a tad dirty. The man approached my friend Tegan, immediately grabbed his arm and pulled out a syringe. The man looked at us both and calmly said, "If I poke you with this, the snakes won't bite." For a moment, Tegan and I were very confused. We both had this kid, we trust adults kind of mindset that was quickly challenged by this man. From what I recall, we pretty quickly understood that this wasn't right, and we started yelling, and I began to shoot my airsoft gun in the air. Our friends came out of hiding and saw us up on the hill. The man obviously realized all these kids had weapons and immediately took off back in the direction he came. I remember us all laughing about it, finishing our airsoft match, and then proceeding to go home and tell our parents. This then led to school announcements, a section in the local newspaper, and neighborhood watch signs. They never found the guy. My boyfriend's mum is 43 now.
What the hell?
So the other day, we were talking about inexplicable events when she started telling me about her best friend in high school.
Always talk shit, but my breath don't stink. Flow been running, better rest my sink. Cooking these niggas got the recipe. If they mess with me, rest in peace. Got drive like Uber. Never let the head rest. Mic always on like a ball dude with a headset. Hit it till you squirt. Damn, got the whole bed wet. Rock out like Led Zeppelin. One take, what I do, who you? Look at your whole crew. I don't know who's who. You look confused, think you need a blues crew. Two girls, one coupe. You niggas is doo-doo. All about business. I need a new suit. For us, by us. My label is FUBU. Microwave a nigga if you think me too cool. I'm a misfit, like I switched to a new school. Upload the pic to the gram. Your girl with my dick in her hand. Gross. You should just stick with the plan. You can see quick in the sand. Whoa, whoa. I know you're a bitch. Mulan. You can get folded. Full time. Every girl want a noodle. Full down. Going hard for the dream. Cool. Now I can see why you stress. Now I can see why you stress. Why? Your life is just like my little brother's room because that shit is a mess. I know that I am the best. There's something I need to confess. What's that? I still use an iPhone 5, but somehow I got success. I be out in Cali in the valley making money, do my Dougie cause it's funny. Sip a lot of tea with honey, make them jump like it's a bunny shit. And I don't need a huggy, flow is cold, I need a snuggie. Now my pocket's getting chubby, all these women wanna touch me cause I'm cuter than a puppy. And it's like I want a lotto cause I'm always getting lucky. Now she licking my banana like a motherfucking monkey. And she not having my baby, but she feel me in her tummy. Let a nigga breathe. All these sick words in my notes, I think my phone has got a disease. My flow, I'm Mufasa, long live the king. I feel like Muhammad Ali, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Okay, I'm back now, you an ass clown, whatever that means. You couldn't walk in my shoes like you a skinny dude and I got fat feet. Never been in the backseat, you probably live in a taxi. My flow is oh so proactive and I ain't never had no pimples, nigga.
Now they really wanna know, seeing what's up all the time when they go, and I gotta let them know when I reckon like a tornado. Here you go, it's your boy back on the mic, you know that I'm about to ignite, seeing what it is from the day to the night, you know what I'ma do all the time when I fight, so.
Your president.
There was no chatter on this. We can still negotiate.
That's not going to happen. I'll take a look. Now! Quantum has fallen. Only now on iTunes.
Excuse me, guys. Would you mind if I rap to you guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wrote a song this morning, and this is my first song. I just want to know if you guys like it. And you just tell me if it's good or not. Yeah, I'm the most underrated. Everybody say they spitting fire like a dragon, nigga. Watch me come and slam. Coming from the basement. Double XL, man, I want the cover. There's no way that I'm not in the conversation. I don't have no basis unless it's bitch from playing operation. I'm castrating anybody that's hating. I ain't trying to be famous. I'm just trying to make payments from what I'm making. I'm frustrated, about to go Super Saiyan. And I'm causing mayhem when I rap. I got a coffin in the back, and if you talking in the coffins where you at, I'm sick. I be coughing on the track. I'm exhausted from the raps. I'm trying to kick it with the broad that's on the map. Shit, make her squirt like the holders in a dolphin on his back. But I gotta be cautious in the trap. And I've been to Boston, been to Austin, been to Compton, and been back where it's at. I'm sounding like an auction when I snap. Snap back in the backpack. Jean vest with a fat patch. WTF gang hashtag. I guess I'll smoke, nigga, past that. Taking shots stuck, nigga, Aflac. Cash stacks, no cash stacks. Never paying to smash that. If we're ass fast, then I trigger like a car. Cause I be all in it. Might take her on a trip. But before I drop it off, I gotta wax that. Binders and keepers. I'm all in they speakers. The word getting out. That word futuristic is spitting like he chewed tobacco all up in his mouth. I don't need a deal, got a whip in a chain, and no, I'm not a slave in the South. I got a crib in LA and a crib in AZ. Either way, I be putting shit down. I'm snapping like a turtle. Dressed like a Merkel, they concerned about me going to commercial, killing shows without rehearsal. If I'm before you watching this first, so they committed to my lyrics, that's a burgle. Copying everything that I do with you, paternal, pissing on them like a urinal. I've been popping like a kernel. I cut everyone out the circle. The only one that's in it like a German, you spoiled niggas is looking kind of curdle. Sheesh. Appreciate it. It's good. I should keep rapping. Was I any good? Was I any good? I was okay.
That was hot.
Okay, you liked it. She didn't like it. I saw her filming. Yeah, man. No, I'm actually a rapper. We filming this. It's called Nerd Freestyles in Compton or Nerd Raps in Compton or whatever. He's actually a big YouTuber.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he's a big YouTuber and I'm a rapper, so like I'm guest starring.
I feel like Muhammad Ali. Down goes straight on the motherfucking brain. I feel like Jordan in his prime. I feel like Magic Johnson 1988 on the motherfucking brain. Rap game Tony Hawk. Hopping on the road like a skater.
What up? It's your boy Futuristic repping WTF gang. You already know. Hashtag WTF gang, little nigga. We about to go in here to the studio, kill some beats, do the damn thing like we always do. I be here basically every day. We got AKT Action upstairs. Who knows what he's doing? Matt Johnson behind the film. You already know, Mr. I Had to Do It. GoodMusicAllDay.com. What up? Oh, spit some. Oh, yeah. Niggas already know. Niggas already know. Yeah. You ready to hear this new shit, LZ?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes.
Oh shit, it's the kid. What's up, Futurist?
AKT Action on the damn beat.
What's going on? It's Action. And I think we're about to hit some shit up. What are we trying to work on today?
I'm trying to kill that young 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz, Lil Wayne.
I think I already got it pulled up. Look at that.
Yeah. You know who the fuck I be. Futuristic, Mr. WTF gang. Mr. I Had to Do It. Mr. I Do all the shit that you can't do. Yeah. Nigga.
Swag.
Sorry. Fuck 2 Chainz, I got no chains. WTF, that's a cold game. Burn shit. Propane, better stay inside the house like a snow day. You got kill tracks. OJ, you flow straight, but you so gay. I don't even know how to read music, but somehow I got that dough ray. Believe myself and I, nigga. The truth, why would I lie, nigga? Swear root get ate like pie, nigga. It's futuristic or God, nigga. I do this, I don't try, nigga. One do what I'm all like my nigga. Got 5 hoes in my condo, giving me brains on down my mind, nigga. Forget all the killer when I step into the middle. I'm spinning so sick that everybody needs to put a ceiling. I'm in 2000 and something, nigga. Like that I'm a builder, I do one like every day. Pretty soon I have a million. Looking all these niggas, I'm a middle in the skillet. Something like braille, everybody got a feeling it's dub, yeah. No dub step, but I still make noise like Spring. I hear hoes with different stuff. What you talking about, Willis? I'm a Gary Cole, man. What you talking about, Willis? Hear hoes with different stuff. What you talking about, Willis? I'm a Gary Cole, man. What you talking about, Willis? Cartoon niggas, welcome to Monster Scene. You washed up, get disposed, put them down the sink. Bad bitches, raise your glasses like pink. She hit me with a text like I'm down for whatever. If you fucking with me, then you must be stupid. Good music all day from Mr. I Had to Do It. Put this on your iPod or CD, bomb, download at onlyfuturistic.com. Hold up. All you niggas thinking that I do this shit for fun and I'm that I put in work. If you wanna talk about me, I'm one of your tracks. It's a rap, matter of fact, I'm gonna put them in the hearts. Kill all these niggas on every single verse. They disperse, get it burst. You bad in your verse, I'm attacking the earth. If you rap, you hurt. I snap and I curse, you jack and I burn. Catch you alert, get more neck than a tag on a shirt. Yeah, I see more ass in the back of the skirt. I'm just playing. You know who it is though. WTF gang. Yeah. I be that nigga who shut down the city. I be that nigga drunk as fuck with all my people with me. I be that nigga with a lot of groupies. Hella famous signing autographs on bitches' boobies. I be that. 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 I'm the only one doing what I'm doing. These rappers is all pursuing future. This is pretty deep. Young nigga with a grind so tough, can't nobody tell me nothing because I'm in it to the finish. Dropping more records than the Guinness Scouts. This nigga sick, I need to take it to the clinic. A couple bitches got me looking like I'm winning in the studio. I tell them that I'm living in a minute. I be that. They know how I does it. These hoes up and they get invited. She texts me all day and I don't say a thing. I sent her the address and she getting excited. You can bring friends to the party, they gotta be naughty. My darling is private. Force us to liquor or joining the molly. They all getting naked and showing they private. I be that. Mr. Sauce Man, WTF gang. If you hating, I can make you disappear like David Blaine. 5 bad bitches in my whip, I don't know my name. I'm going to the game. I'm getting young money like a nigga chilling with Wayne. I bring the heat like I'm chilling with Wayne, cause I be that. I be that nigga who shut down the city. I be that nigga drunk as fuck with all